Hey, welcome back. Today I am finally getting to put the walls together on this thing. But first I need to clean off the trailer, which has been just used for storage for the last couple of months while I was building the walls. So that's the first thing. So here I'm just pre-placing everything, putting it in its position, getting it all kind of temporarily fitted together and ready so I can start attaching everything together permanently. So once I got all these pieces set together here, I've got a gap that shouldn't be there and wasn't there when it was on the ground. So we come down to here and we think, look at a matching gap. How could that be? But what happened, when I put this piece in here, when I welded it, I actually warped it a little bit because I put all that heat on the one side and not the other. And so this bottom 2x2 on the trailer is warped a little bit. And that's making me just have this little gap. Got the same on the other side there too. So I'm going to have to probably go in somewhere along the middle and scribe this out so it follows that same arc. And that'll drop this panel back down. It should look pretty good at that point. Of course, I have to refiberglass the bottom of that to seal it up. So that's exactly what I did. Is I took it back in the shop. I took a hand planer, power planer, and got that scribed so it fits that bottom piece really well. And brought it back out, and it fits much better now. Here I'm just using just regular expanding foam, just insulation foam. Works really well to stick this material together, and it also helps fill up some of the gaps. So I'm just putting this on all the seams here, and that's just going to be my glue. And all I had to do was put a little packaging tape on here for clamps, and then I took and went back with some of the foam again and just filled in some of the gaps that were still present. That'll just make it easier once we go to wrap these corners with fiberglass later.
So I just got done cutting off all the extra foam, and I'll tell you what, this thing is really stout now. It's surprisingly sturdy. I mean, I can push on it. It's locked together. I mean, the fiberglass over these corners and everything is going to make it even better, stronger. But I'm really impressed how far it's come along as far as rigidity. I would have no problem hauling this down the highway right now. Kind of cool. Okay, so I've got the fan. There we go. Follow me, little camera. Got this fancy thing that's supposed to follow me around, and it doesn't always do it. So I've got the fan just kind of set in here. This is the wire raceway that I'm going to be running. So it's going to run power up to the fan and up to a couple lights in here. So this has got to get hidden along here. I don't want it on the inside. I'm just going to hide it in this little fin that I was building on the back of the camper here. And that really this is just decoration, but it also will hide the cable, which is kind of cool. So what this is going to do is kind of go from here and all the way. I'm going to curve this and attach it on here. It's just going to look like kind of an extension of the fan coming down. So that's what I'm thinking here. I was going to, as it went down to the bottom, I was going to taper it in, make it look really fancy, and that's a lot of extra work. And I don't think it's going to look any different. Plus, this has to end up 8 inches from the floor in order to like enter in under the bed. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it 1.5 inch thickness all the way along, just kind of make it like a little fin on the back. It'll add some rigidity too, look kind of cool. Alright, so I've made up this piece here, basically of styrofoam, and I've cut it so it'll make the bend. Put a channel down the middle where that conduit needs to go. So then, it should just fit right up here. Use the tripod to hold the tape that I had pre-cut to get ready on here. Alright, so I've got the bottom fastened in. We make sure that this fits that over that conduit as we go. Then strap it down. The nice thing about epoxy is it's going to give me time to think about how I'm going to solve this to make this stick. I need some more clampage.
So here on the edges I did the same thing, just sanded these down, used this little piece of wood for a template, got everything done there. To reinforce all these joints, I'm using this West Systems glass tape. It's biaxial, so it bends around these corners really nicely. And then I also cut just some strips of the 6-ounce material that I had, that I put on all the extra panels and everything. And I'm using those for reinforcement on all the flat areas. doing these top sections was really easy. You know, it's flat, you just work on it. I put 3 layers on the outside, let it cure up. I could do all 3 layers at one time, which is nice. But working on the inside joints is a pain because it just wants to drip on you all the time. So be ready for that. The other thing too is let the stuff set up just a little bit on that ceiling before you roll the material onto it, because when it's really fresh, it doesn't stick as well, and the tape, you know, the fiberglass tape will just fall back off on you. So let your epoxy cure up just a little bit before you start this part. So really smart people would use gloves to smooth all this out, but that's not the way I roll. Yeah, you'll get this stuff all over your hands. I find those gloves just end up being a mess anyway. They stick to everything, and I just this way I'm actually a little bit cleaner when I'm done because I'm being careful. Little acetone will take it off your hands, which is probably a really terrible idea, but that's how I'm doing it. So I planned really, really well yesterday, getting this thing all glued on here, except for one thing. I forgot that this would all drip like crazy off the bottom, so I didn't protect any of this. So now I've got epoxy stuck to everything. My ledger board here is stuck. I mean, like, stuck. That's really good epoxy. Next time we'll start in with the body filler and get some paint on here, make it all look really nice. So please come back, check that one out. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff that everybody always tells you to do, but you never do. So, hey, thanks. See ya.